Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hot Topics, the show where we create, transform, and
Inspire.
there you go. This is Gloria Goldberg, the founder of the podcast Unbreakable Life with Glory. We're going to talk about depression, anxiety, and PTSD in a holistic way and natural way to always make you feel better. And next to me, like always, my beautiful co-host, Kia Baker.
Hi, I'm Kia, and I am the creator and host of the Female Veterans Podcast, Women Warrior Stories for the Veterans Channel, and success coach at London Real Academy, which you can learn all about at londonreal.tv. And I'm excited today, honey.
I'm excited to do. I'm also excited too, Kia, because the show, I like money and I like to make money, and it's about to make more money.
Well, making money is good, but I think it's really important because everything I'm hearing these days is cryptocurrency. And I'm like, okay. So if I'm curious and I want to know more, I love to do research. And what I've been discovering is this is something that people really need to know. And a lot of people have no idea
No
what
idea.
cryptocurrency is. So today our guest is a returning friend of the show, Angeline, and we're gonna catch up. Essentially, we're going to catch up with Angeline and see what she's been up to since the last time she came to talk about domestic violence. And she has her podcast, and we're going to find out what's up with breaking the silence and everything that she's been doing. But we're also going to have a great conversation about what is crypto and why you need to know about it and why it's important and how can you get started in that new digital currency. So if you like money, stay tuned.
And you know what? In PayPal, it's already a little icon there for Bitcoin. So
Mm-hmm. Oh,
this
it's going
is
to be everywhere.
this is happening, and I know, like me and Kia, like Kia and me, we are wanted to know because we are successful women and we like to be more successful and we like to make money, and we're gonna continue making money, so we need to bring the expert to to guide us where we put the money, right?
And this is our one. This is one of a few experts that we're going to have, and just talking about this, and just really helping people understand the importance of it and what's going on with digital currency. Because there's a lot of conspiracies, there's a lot of rumors. We want to try to dispel some of those myths. We want to try to educate and help people to get in on this before it's too late. Because I mean, how many times does this happen in your lifetime? I mean, there were great booms that have occurred so many times that we've seen. We saw computers and the internet and online shopping and, all of the rise of commerce and all of that. And now it's going to be the rise of digital currency. So get
Yes.
prepared because this train's in motion.
Kia, and you know what is the most important thing besides all this information is you need to be with the right people that you can trust. Because there's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people out there just talking, and sometimes there are scammers,
Oh,
and
God, yes.
they just want your money and
Mm-hmm.
disappear. So
Mm-hmm.
we are here and we are facing our lives every day, every week, and we're not gonna bring somebody that we don't trust, and we trust in Angeline, and we know that today she's gonna bring the information. And I know a lot of people would like to know more information. They can contact her, but I'm wanting to know more because I really want to invest in crypto and to understand about the situation. And I know there's a lot of people they want the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the way we're moving in the future. And
Yes,
so you have to start paying attention. You have to start
totally.
paying attention and you have to get involved. If yeah, I mean, aw,
See
hey
that?
Johnny.
That's your fan number one.
Yeah, that's my number one fan.
Yeah, me. Then maybe I have a pretty soon after May. Probably another fan like him. Probably.
That's funny. Hi, George. Hi, sweetie.
That was a
Oh, you're
that.
feeling uncomfortable? Oh,
Ooh.
you got the Pfizer vaccine, huh? So I actually have been talking to a lot of people that have been getting their vaccines as well, because I'm nervous about it, right? Although I'm very well educated on the science, I do understand that the technology that was used has been 30 years in the making, even though this vaccine has been created rapidly. Hi, Gertie.
Miss Love,
Oh,
Miss Love.
we love
Ah,
you.
I love you, Miss
We love you.
Love. Oh, Angeline.
Good job, Angeline.
Good job.
So we're gonna bring you on in a minute, girl. So I just wanted to say about that is like, George, thank you for sharing how you're feeling, because I've been talking to a lot of my different friends, and depending on the vaccine, who made the vaccine, it sort of depends on how they're feeling, I think. So yeah, keep us updated. And I'm sorry to hear you're feeling unwell, but what I have learned from the Pfizer vaccine, from asking people who have gotten it, is that it usually lasts 1 to 2 days and you should be feeling better. Okay, so I hope that gives you some hope. All right.
I know an experience of a woman of my age, 48, that she put the vaccine in 2 days. She died. So I don't know
Oh,
if she was completely healthy. So I don't know if that was that, or
do you know which
maybe
one
she
it
had it.
was?
I'm gonna find out.
Yeah, because they're all different companies making them now. There's Johnson and Johnson is in the game, Pfizer, Moderna. There's more. I forget all of the rest of them, but there's so many people making the vaccines now. You kind of have to know like who experienced what and who made it, so that you can sort of navigate that and do more research.
I
So
will
yeah.
wait and wait and wait. And that's why I'm going into the jungle. So over there, I don't need a vaccine.
Right. Well, we shall see what happens. I'm sort of keeping my ear to the ground, watching and keeping tabs on how people are feeling, just for my own peace of mind, because I don't like to. I'm cautious, but I'm not opposed, I will just say. And I would be remiss to say that, we know that all medications have side effects. We know that.
Correct.
And all medications have the potential risk to affect you in a way that can cause death, like for the most part, right? Just depending on what you've got in your system, if you have unknown, things that are going on in your body you don't know about. So
Exactly.
you have to be cautious, and you have to always, keep on top of your health. Don't
Exactly.
let things go. that's my lesson. Preventative medicine is the best medicine. Don't let things go. And if monitor yourself, if you're going to go and have the vaccine, let people know that you've had it. Let people know which one you've had, where you are in that process. For me, I don't want to say I'm hesitant, but I want to be cautious. Like, I'm not queuing up. I'm not like first in line for that. I want to
No,
see
no, no,
how,
no, 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 no,
I'm
no.
sort of doing my own research and talking to people as they have their vaccine, so I can sort of feel it out, see which one maybe might be the better of all of them.
Yeah. So today's show is going to be a little bit longer because we want to have a lot of information from Angeline. So let's bring her in. So
Let's do it.
we squeeze her with the information.
Let's get it.
Hey,
Hi,
how
how
are
are
you,
you?
my
Hi,
dear?
ladies. Oh my
Hi,
gosh.
A
sweetie.
powerful woman here in the house.
Yeah, right here. I'm good. How are you ladies doing?
Good, my dear.
Good.
Hanging in there. Hanging in
Yeah,
there.
we're
So
Mhm.
the question for everybody. Tell everybody where's your location, what time is now.
okay. So I live in Saratoga Springs, New York, and which is 30 minutes north of Albany. So I live north of the capital, and it's actually 9:20 p.m. here, Eastern time. So I'm on the East Coast.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm here. I'm I'm just so happy and blessed to be here again. And thank
Aw,
you for having me on your show again. Means a
East
lot
Coast
to me.
family. Yay.
Well, this is your
Welcome back.
house. This is your house.
Thank you. And my new 2 bedroom apartment too. So
Nice. That's right. So, Angeline, a lot has happened with you
mm,
since the last time we talked to you in the fall, right?
yes,
The whole
Yes.
world is different, actually.
Oh, it is.
I feel like things are going to start opening up by the summer. What do you think?
Yes, actually, there was a report today because we have SPAC, Saratoga Performing Arts Center. So they're going to open the venue. I think they're going to open in May and only 20% capacity. The racetrack is opening. So so a lot of public places are going to be opening. The restaurants, some of the restaurants here closed for the winter because it was slow, but now they're opening up. So this is going to be a hustle and bustle town this summer. So I'm looking forward to it, because last year it was quiet. It was quite different from a year ago.
I feel you. Gloria's been telling me I need to get out of the house, right?
Yes.
So I'm like, don't worry, because the summer is coming, and girl, I am going to be all over the world.
Well, it's going to be in the 50s starting on Saturday, so we're getting spring weather right now. Yeah, so it's tomorrow it's going to be 40, but then it's going to be 58. So time to
reemerge.
To reemerge, go for walks in the park, and
I'm ready.
And it's nice that you can go to a restaurant.
Kia need to train to go to see me at the jungle because we're gonna walk like a 9 to 10 miles. So I don't know.
I'm training. I'm like, I'm down, but you don't just like wake up in the morning and walk 10 miles. So let me start getting in practice right now, and we're gonna do it. I don't care. I love the idea. I think it's gonna be so much fun. But I'll be walking every day for the most part from now until then. This is good, which is great.
Me too.
All my friends that wanna go to see me at the jungle, it needs to come like a training mind. Like, okay, with her, we're gonna be having a silent retreat. We're gonna walk like a 9 to 10 miles and all that stuff.
We could have a retreat. Just have a nice ladies' retreat for women.
Of course.
Absolutely.
I'm going there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Check out some plant medicine.
Right. Bring all those chongalicious women.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love your spirit, Gloria.
It's always fun when Gloria's there.
Always fun when Gloria's there, and I love her stories too. I've watched every single one.
I know. I mean, we're talking about Gloria's Instagram stories. So if you haven't seen them, Gloria makes these really incredible Instagram stories. So you need to go follow her at Gloria Gold 1111.
I love the glasses. Did you pay that in Bitcoin?
I'm ready for the jungle.
I can see that. I love it. I love you, ladies.
You just never know what's going to happen.
You never know what's going to happen on this show. See, it's like,
Last week we were dancing.
Well, we want to do a little dance after.
Yeah, we put Mrs. Love to dance. So Angeline, Kia, you make the first question to Angeline about the subject today.
Okay, but before we launch into our talk about crypto, and like I just want to find out what you've been doing since the last time we saw you. What have you been up to all this time?
Well, besides investing in crypto, I have been working on my podcast.
Do tell.
Yes. Cannot hear Gloria, but I can hear Kia. Oh, that's Gertie.
That's not good. I can hear you.
I can hear you too.
Yeah.
Maybe just adjust your volume up a little bit, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Me?
Yes, Gloria.
That's weird because I didn't touch.
You do sound a little bit low, but I can hear you. So
I can hear you too.
You hear me? George, can you tell me if you can hear me? Kia, you probably have to say that if they don't listen to me.
Yeah. So, Gertie, can you hear her now? Or George?
Or Johnny?
Yeah. Can any of you guys hear her? Type in the message.
Okay, continue.
Continue. Just keep going. So,
all right.
So I've been working on my podcast. Actually, at this time, last year, I remember making a live video in the park, and this is when the pandemic first happened.
Mhm.
And the title of my live was, "It's time for this superwoman right here to muscle up." So that's exactly what I did. So muscling up meaning, okay, so diving into the courses that I invested in on crypto. So I studied. The second thing I did was to study about podcasting and how to properly market the podcast, and where I was going to position my podcast. So I really scaled up, and I was interviewed on some of the largest radio networks in the country, and that led to having my new website, which is letsbreakthesilence.com. So that's where you can find me on all social media channels, on my YouTube channel, Anchor FM, and Spotify. And now my podcast is, I'm sorry, on Apple Podcasts, which just got distributed last week. So
Oh.
so breaking the silence and just helping people with transformation, because that's what my company is all about. It's all about transformation and healing from trauma, healing from domestic violence, or healing from some sort of abuse, into helping them find their voice, regain their power, and attract wealth and abundance in their lives. So, um, so my podcast is like all over the place now. It's all over, and I'm really, really super happy. So now I'm working with a business coach to launch my coaching program. So I'm working on that as well. And what I decided to do was really focus on cryptocurrency. You know, First of all, for those of you who are listening here and who don't know what I had no idea what cryptocurrency was. I was first introduced to cryptocurrency in 2019. So Bitcoin, and I knew like what Bitcoin was all about. Bitcoin is a decentralized coin. So you have control, meaning, let's say I sent $30 to Gloria, and I sent that to her in Bitcoin through my Coinbase account. She would receive that in BTC. The bank doesn't control it. You have control. And there's no banking fees, there's no transfer fees. So when I first learned about Bitcoin, in 2019, it was like, okay, I think I'm going to explore growing, growing my Bitcoin and investing in Bitcoin. And at that time, I was working my full time job. So while I was working my full time job in sales, which was not really my passion anymore, because I was traveling 500 miles a week to different cities, and I would, I would drive to Buffalo, I would drive down to New York City, and then Massachusetts. But I was selling advertising, and that was like most of my sales career. But it was like I needed a change. I needed that change. So in December of 2000, so when I was introduced into this company, the company, you know, um, it's educational. So it's an educational platform. They have like two types of courses: the intro course, which is for the newbie, for someone who wants to learn about the blockchain, learn about what Bitcoin is all about and cryptocurrency and what wallets to have. And it can seem overwhelming, especially to the new person like myself, because I felt a little overwhelmed at first. But then as I started to dive in, into the courses, I said, you know what, this is something that I want to pursue. This is something that I want to do. And it's important to learn like the basics and fundamentals of the course. So the first thing is education. Education is key. Um, I've learned that there's a lot of scams out there, because Kia, you were talking about that, and that's true. Because Bitcoin is rising so much, it's like this morning it was $59,000.
Mm.
It was 59,000. But there are some scams out there that I know of. Unfortunately, some people I know decided to fall for it and have lost a lot of money. Have lost. I wouldn't say that they lost their life savings. I would say they've lost like $10,000.
That's still a lot of money
That's
It's a
still a
lot
lot of
of
money.
money.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
money,
to lose, to get
to
scammed out
lose.
of.
Just
Yeah.
to get scammed. I'm taking my sweater off because it's getting a little hot in here. I got my fireplace out going. But okay, so so I've had people come to me. I mean, people have come to me because they trust me. They've been following my journey. And so the first warning that I have to tell everyone right here, if you are in the US here, if a company tells you that you have to, because in the US there are regulations. So if you have to use a VPN, run the other way, because what the VPN, I don't know if you're familiar with a VPN, but if you have to connect to a VPN, that means that that essentially means that they hide your location. So people don't know where, yeah. And you
So
can get a
what?
big
So
bill.
what is the BPM?
It's a VPN. It's it's like an IP, so they hide your IP address.
Yeah, it's like so that no one knows where you are,
Yes, correct,
where your location is when you're using
correct,
your computer,
correct, correct,
essentially, or your
right,
phone or whatever.
right, correct.
Device.
It works on a phone and it works on a computer and a laptop. So, that's the first warning that I have. Um, and it's been happening to a lot of people lately. So now they regret it, but it's lessons learned. It's lessons learned. You just have to be careful about, the company that you partner with. The second thing is never invest money you cannot afford to lose. So if you,
Right.
right, never, see,
Yeah.
I
Say it again,
started,
Angeline. Say it again.
yes,
Say it one more time.
never invest money you cannot afford to lose.
That goes for anything,
Anything.
actually. Taking a
For
course,
everything.
taking,
Mhm.
buying an expensive item for yourself. Just don't invest the money if you can't really afford it.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, it's okay to manifest it, but in terms of crypto, especially if you're a beginner in crypto, I started with $30. I started with $30. So, and I was actually, the most, and also with crypto, it's all about mindset too. Actually, I was wanted to educate you here. 90% of this is mindset. It's having, not have, it's the fear, because a lot of people are afraid. They're afraid they're going to lose money. Okay. But you have to expect that you're going to lose some money. You have to expect that. You have to expect that you will lose some money, but you will also make money too. Okay. So it's important that you get I call it ROI, as fast as possible. So, and another thing is to master the skills. And in other words, master the skills of trading, master the skills of investing. And if you just want to hold your Bitcoin, because there's three ways you can make money with Bitcoin. Number one is holding it. Number two is you can mine the Bitcoin, or you could trade. Okay, and
Okay.
fortunately,
Before you go further, because you're moving
Hmm.
really fast for beginners.
oh, okay,
Okay.
sorry,
All
okay,
right. So let's back up. Okay.
sure,
So you said first get your mind right. So recognize that there is risk involved here, but without great risk, there's no great reward. So you have to get your mind around the fact that if you invest money here, you will take an L. You will lose at some point, but there are also great gains. So you have to be prepared for that. Okay. That's number two, besides not getting scammed. Okay. And watch out for anyone asking you to send them money and they have a VPN, right? Okay.
right,
So,
exactly.
watch out for that. Educate yourself. Find out what the scams are with cryptocurrency. You can go online and just Google cryptocurrency scams 2021 and they'll come up. Okay.
Exactly.
Next, we need to know that there's 3 ways to invest. Let's talk about the first way a little bit. You said that was holding.
Right, holding the Bitcoin. So
okay.
Yeah. So let's talk about holding. So let's say you have, I'm just going to put let's say you have $1,000 in Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
So you see it going, and you have to expect volatility. Okay.
Yes.
And you have to make volatility your friend, not your enemy. So you cannot get upset. In other words, don't get upset if the market goes down, because if the market goes down, do not sell.
Exactly.
Do not sell at a loss. Keep it. Hold it until it goes back up again. Because last year, I recall, I think Bitcoin was around like $9,000. And if you had held on to that Bitcoin, it would be worth, because now it's worth about $58,000. Now, I'm just going to average it out because it's kind of being volatile right now. You would have made a lot of money despite the losses.
So I have a question though.
Sure.
You said you can buy a coin. What is a coin?
Well, if you see Bitcoin, it's not tangible, but it's a decentralized coin. That's all I can, that's how they define Bitcoin. It's a decentralized.
So can I ask a question to see if I can make this make a little bit more sense? So you said it's a decentralized a coin. So what I think of it as a token, right? Like, so, when you go to like Chuck E. Cheese or you go to like a festival or a fair and you get those gold coins and you can use them for the arcade or you can use them, you know what I mean?
Right.
I think people should kind of think of these Bitcoins like those coins. It's an imaginary coin and they each have a name, okay? And they each have a value. So when you buy one, so for example, you buy 1 Bitcoin, think of that like one of those little tokens that has a value attached to it. And the value goes up or down, okay? So that's as basic as I can explain it for everybody. Right?
And actually, that's right. Think of it as a token.
Mm-hmm.
Think of it as a token. Because a lot of people in the U.S., they don't understand what cryptocurrency is. And they don't teach this in schools.
Exactly.
Right.
And they probably won't for a long time because people that aren't in school anymore don't know what it is. And they don't even teach life skills, financial life skills in school. So imagine, maybe with economics at some point, but I think it's going to be a long time coming, Angeline. What do you think?
I think so too. I feel, and I've said this in other interviews that I've been on, that the U.S. is behind the times because in Europe and South Africa, you can buy real estate. So let's say I wanted to buy a house in South Africa, or let's say I wanted to buy a piece of property there. I can pay it in Bitcoin.
It's happening, you guys.
It's happening. In fact, the top leader who I know is also a real estate investor. So guess what? He's building a development. So, just think of, a development. I actually want to go see it, but he's building houses and he accepts Bitcoin as a form of payment.
So that gives you an idea of how big this is going to be within the next 10 years. The way we do business is going to be completely different and probably sooner. So this is why it was really important for me to do this. This is the first part of a series we're going to do on Bitcoin to educate everybody, to do our part to help you get prepared for the future because it's here. It's coming. So as you were saying, you could hold the Bitcoin. So that means we can buy some tokens and we can keep them in our wallet, which what would you a wallet is not like a bank, but it's like a secure place where you can hold your
Correct.
Bitcoin. So it's like when you put your money in your wallet and you put it in your pocket or your purse,
Right.
right? But it's
Right.
digital.
There
Okay.
you go. There you go.
Okay.
So
And you
I
can
have
hold
it. You can hold it, and it's safe and secure.
it. Mhm.
It's safe and secure. So that's important. So in other words, like here in New York, I have an Exodus wallet.
What is the
So
name?
it's called Exodus, EXODUS.
And
That's
there's a lot of
available.
different ones,
There's a
right?
lot of different wallets, but that's the one I use
Mhm.
because it has a lot of different coins too. So you can, buy different coins. And now the trends are like Ethereum.
Mhm.
You have Ethereum. You have this coin called ADA. I am learning about Dogecoin, NFTs, because I partnered with a mentor. So I actually enrolled in this mentorship program called the 100X Crypto Mentorship. So there's people from the US, there's people from England, London, and people from, some South Africa too. But it's great. It's great because there are things that we could do in the US. I mean, I didn't realize, but there are things that we cannot do. So, like in New York, I can only use, Coinbase and another exchange called Gemini. I cannot use Binance US
Mm.
because of New York regulations. But in most states, I think Binance is not, that's an exchange where you can do trades. Okay. That's the
Mhm.
second thing. You make money through trading. So, Binance US is not available in Florida, but I don't recall the other states that it's not available in. You could just Google it, just type in Binance US. And, but if you can use Binance US, I would definitely recommend it. So,
Mhm.
What is the name?
oh,
Finance.
Binance. Yeah. Binance
Yeah, I've heard
US.
good things about finance too.
Yeah.
So Angeline, you said that the second way you could make money was trading. Like, is that like day trading of stocks?
It's okay. Think of the stock market.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is an interesting I'm glad you brought this up. Now, some people who are retired, they'll sit on the computer all day and do day trading. Day trading is not really for me. I don't sit on the computer all day. You could do like little micro trades, which I like to do. Oh, hi, Susan.
Shout out to Louisiana.
Yeah, Louisiana's been
Yeah.
oh, it's so great to see her here. Thank you for joining us. So, um, yeah, so we were talking. Okay, so
Trading.
trading, yeah. So you could do like little micro trades throughout the day and make like, do a little bit at a little bit. On Binance, you can put what's called a stop loss. So let's say you have an entry point. Let's say you go in at, let's say 50,000 and you want to sell at 55,000. You could put like something, it's called a stop loss, that I want to sell this at 55. You could walk away from your computer and then you will get like a live signal on your phone or, when you're out and about. So, which is really cool.
So
So,
for the person who doesn't really understand trading at all,
right.
how would you explain it in sort of like layman's terms, I guess?
Okay. In layman's terms, this is what I would do. I would put in a small amount of money. So I would start with $30. I would open up a Coinbase account. I would just drop $30 in and hold it for now.
On any coin you
On any
choose.
coin,
Mhm.
you choose, right? Any coin you choose. I recommend Bitcoin, Ethereum. I think ADA was supposed to be on Coinbase tonight. So, there's a lot of good coins out there. There's Polkadot. There's like so many, but just be careful. I would Google, I would do your due diligence research.
Yes.
So we could find trends, right? We could see what
Correct.
they've been doing over the last 6 months or a year and then decide, oh, well, maybe this ADA looks like it might raise in money and value over the next 6 months. So I'm going to buy that one, right? And I could
Right.
choose that and put it in my wallet. And then I might want to, if it goes up, I can trade it, or how does that work? Like I could sell it while it's high, or what do you mean by trading?
Exactly.
Okay, so you have to look for it's called the dips, the lows.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll see like a little graph. So when it starts to go down, like I said, don't sell it when it goes down, because eventually it's going to come back up again.
Mm-hmm.
So you look for the dip, and maybe you want to buy some more at the dip.
Mm-hmm.
So you buy a little bit more, and then and I've seen these coins go back up again. So, like with my so here's another website to go to. Oh, go CoinGecko, CoinGecko.com. So you open up a free account, and then you will see all the coins. You'll see, you want to look at the market cap, and you want to look at the volume for the last 24 hours. So, you know, there's so many things that I've learned from my mentorship. It's like, it's amazing. You know, another thing is to subscribe to this online magazine called the Daily. It's called Daily Hold, but it's Daily HODL. So you want to subscribe to that, because there's a lot of market trends. They have a lot of news, you know, like with Morgan Stanley now, you know, that was huge. That was huge. That's why Bitcoin went way up. And then, you know, Elon Musk dumped a
Yes,
whole bunch. Yeah.
I read that news.
See, that's why Bitcoin has gone up. It's just gone
Mm-hmm.
whoo, way up. It's going to come down. Then it's going to go
Mm-hmm.
back up again. In fact, not last week. It was a few weeks ago. I had, you know, a lot of money. I would say, how much should I have in there? It was over, I invested about $1,200 only in Bitcoin. And then it went way up, and I decided to leave it there for the weekend. When it peaked $59,000, I sold it. So I made a profit of about $800. After I took it out, it spiked down. There was a correction. So what I did was, I think it was on a Tuesday or Wednesday when it was at the bottom, because I like to read, you know, like I watch Facebook Lives, and, you know, when I read, as soon as it hit, like when I knew that it hit, you know, like rock bottom at the dip, I bought, you know, I bought some more. But what I like to do is, for the beginner, I would recommend, this is not financial advice, so I'm not licensed. This is just, you know, what I've done. Dollar cost averaging. I love dollar cost averaging. So I put in $100 a week now. And I just, you know, I open up my Coinbase account, or I open up CoinGecko, and then I'll see the market trend, and then I'll see, you know, I think Bitcoin is at its low right now. I don't think it's going to go down any further. So I'll put $100 in, you know, and then just leave it there. I'll just leave it there, you know, and then the following week I'll put another $100 in. And now I'm going to be investing in, you know, in other coins too. So there's a lot of like pairs, like for instance, Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum is, you know, Ethereum is a good coin. That's another good coin that I'm going to invest in. So there's a lot of good ones out there. So you just have to do research and just make sure that you're comfortable, and do not invest money that you cannot afford to lose. And even if you see something go down, don't take a loss of more. Don't take a loss of between 5 to 10%. So
That's good advice.
yeah, thank you, thank you, thank
Mm-hmm.
you. Yeah, so that's what I've done, and I love it, and I want to buy property, so I'm looking to buy property overseas once travel opens up. So I'm really super excited about that. So, you know,
That's amazing.
Yeah, and you could use
Yes.
like some of these companies, they have like a crypto card that you could get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And now there's a restaurant here in Saratoga. They're accepting Bitcoin. So I know it's
It's
coming.
a revolution. It's a financial revolution. So I have another question though.
Sure.
So actually I have two questions, but I want to keep it sort of moving smoothly and not all over the place. So I'm going to ask this one. So after trading, which means you can sort of just trade your coins, right? Depending on the
Right.
fluctuations of what they're doing in the market, so to speak.
Right.
So what was the third thing you could do with your Bitcoin?
Okay. You can do mining.
Mining. So
So
what is that?
Mining.
yeah, mining. So mining means this. So let's say that there's a facility in South Africa. Okay. There are some mining facilities here, not in New York though. I think there's one in Ohio. So you're buying what's called hash rate power. So when you buy hash rate power, you earn mining rewards. And depending on the company that you mine with, I mean, the payout can be good, but it's called Bitcoin Vault. So if the value goes down, then mining is not profitable. So that's not something I do. I don't do mining at all. That's not something I'm not interested because I've made more money with trading. So, um, I just like to do the trading part. The mining doesn't really interest me, but some people have made good money with mining. Um,
Mhm.
but you just have to be careful. You just have to kind of be careful with that. So, because some people have lost money in mining. In fact, there was a facility in Arizona that closed up last year, and people lost all kinds of money. This is what I'm saying. People will dump $20,000 into a machine. It's a machine, you know, and then the owner all of a sudden disappears. See?
You must be careful. Well, I mean, but look, it's the same amount of risk as if you go into the stock market, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And you decide to invest with, a friend of a friend's family member recommend to a guy who gets a really high rate of return on investment, which is what ROI means, by the way, for all of you who didn't know. And so you're thinking that you're going to get like this big return. He's offering these 20% returns of investments, which is unheard of because everyone else is getting 4 or 5%, right?
Exactly.
And you're like, but like several people recommend this guy, so you go with him. And the next thing you know, you start to get feeling weird after a while when you're like, hey, I want to take my money out of this. And he's like, okay, hold on. And you're starting to feel weird. And suddenly you realize after months of trying to find out where your money is with this guy that he scammed everyone and now the FBI is after him and the Securities and Exchange Commission and his house raided. Like, you know what I mean? Because it was a Ponzi scheme or something crazy like that. So
Exactly.
anytime you're going to invest money, you have to do your due diligence and you have to have a second set of eyes on everything that's going on.
Exactly.
Because you want to be careful with your money. The new investor who's just curious about Bitcoin, this is great entry point information. But Angeline, if we're nervous to do this on our own, do you offer mentorship or any programs to help new investors get started?
Yes, I do. Yes.
And
So
you do one-on-one or you do in a group?
No, we do it in a group. So, so if anyone who is interested, they could reach out to me. They could connect with me on Facebook, and then, I will point them in the right direction. In fact, I had a lady ask me tonight, so I added her to a Facebook group. I also have my own Facebook group called the A&D Crypto Club. So, in fact, Susan, who's tuning in right now, she's in our crypto group. So, if they want to join our crypto group, I have my own private group, plus we have our mentorship group. So, they just have to get in touch with me, and then I'll point them in the right direction. So, we have like live webinars twice, three. They think he's doing webinars 2 to 3 days a week. And he had a special, my mentor, who actually introduced me to Bitcoin in 2019, he did a special session for the US people, for us, which is really nice. But the last webinar that I was on, because he launched his beta program, but now the beta program is closed. There were 100 people on the Zoom, and he forgot to upgrade his account. So an additional 150 people were in the waiting room. So I was like, oh my goodness, but that's something. It's like,
But also you mentioned something that like you can start with $30 and
yes,
play with it and play with it. Just because a lot of people is like afraid. It's like something new. I don't know. I don't want to do it. Oh no. $30, just play with them and see how the markets go up and down, and then you study
right.
from there. And then like you do every week, you don't need to put 100. You can put like another $30.
There you go. There you go.
And little by little, and then you just start like, oh, okay, I understand this, and then you get into the habit to put in more and more and more. But like the way you explained it in the beginning with $30, I would say that's very good, because a lot of people can afford that.
Right. There are a lot of people still living paycheck to paycheck.
Exactly.
So $30 is like a lot of money to them.
Right.
It is. I'm not kidding. No, I mean,
I was just thinking that, Angeline, when you don't have any dollars, $30 seems like $1 million. Right? It does.
But $30 is not gonna make you rich and not gonna make you poor.
There you go.
So the point is we're talking about starting with $20, $30, and we're talking about putting that money aside, but being willing to know that you could lose it. So if you have to save up the $30, you know what I mean? That's okay too. Save it up, but just recognize the fact that you might lose it, but it's worth the risk, because if you win, you'll start building something that could take you out of poverty, is the point.
Exactly.
And why we're sharing this. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to share another thing. In 2011, Bitcoin was $1. Now it's worth $59,000 today. So you have to think about the long term, about the long term.
I'm thinking about it right now because I heard about Bitcoin when it came out in 2011, and I thought, I should invest in that, but I don't really know anything about it. And then I didn't bother to learn anything about it and started learning about it, in 2019, right around the time we met, Angeline. So, I mean, it's ridiculous now to think right now how much money I would have made if I would have just bothered to learn how to invest $1. So don't miss your window. It's not too late right now. You can still get in before this thing blows. It's gonna blow.
Oh,
you heard it here.
You heard
You heard it here on how to. I'm trying to help you people.
Okay, Susan say, I have 3 different accounts. I put $20 and $30 each in each one so far because I don't know what I'm doing. And that's exactly a good, the way you should go when you want to start something.
Right, exactly. Just start with $30. Don't,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gertie, we love you.
We love you.
We will not steer you wrong. Go get you some Bitcoin, honey. Get you some Ethereum, some ADA, and buy into some Bitcoin for $100.
That's
or 30.
Oh,
that's
whatever.
it.
Your girl Kia wouldn't steer you wrong. Okay, go do it. Trying to help you, your family.
And you have your best friend right there. She can guide you.
I'll guide you.
And if you want personalized hand holding, look up Angeline. That's what she's here for.
Right.
Okay?
Exactly.
If you're vibing with Angeline and you want to get involved, reach out to her. Okay. We will like to take a cut. Don't forget our finder's fee, Angeline. Right? Am I wrong, Gloria? Okay.
No, you're not wrong.
When 50,000 people reach out to Angeline.
Oh my God.
In the upcoming weeks.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm gonna need a virtual assistant.
Don't forget us when you're when you're on that yacht,
See,
Angeline. All
that's
I'm
the
just
first
saying.
one right there.
Right there. I'm going to. So Gertie,
Well done, Gertie. You're on your way. Don't forget
on
me
your
when you
way.
have a yacht, Gertie. I'm trying to come to dinner. Okay.
Okay, Susan said something. Oh, ADA, none of the ones I'm in have it. Okay, you know what I'll do, Susan? I'll reach out to you and we'll, yeah.
Now, remember, we cannot technically offer you financial advice, but
Right.
as a friend, I'm just saying.
Exactly. Just
I'm
saying.
not wrong.
We are telling you where to put your $30 that you spend in stupid shit.
I know,
and put
right?
it in Bitcoins, you know?
on makeup or laundry soap.
Whatever.
Okay. And get some cheaper laundry soap for the next 2 months. And that's like, you'll save your money to put into Bitcoin.
And
Laundry
stop
soap's expensive.
stop going to the Marshall and think like, oh, $5, this is discount. Oh, this is discount. And then you finish doing the shopping and you get out with $100.
Or the dollar store. Because that's a trap. The dollar store is a trap.
Exactly.
Everything's $1. You come out of there with $50 worth of stuff every time. Go
Casino,
and save your money.
there you go. There you
Or
go.
the casino. Right?
I have a little story to share with you, ladies. Talk about the casino. People will waste money at the casino. You know how much money they'll waste? Lots of money.
Lots of money.
Know what? And you know what? I'm going to say something. Casino and Bitcoin is kind of the same thing because you're playing with the money.
Right.
In the casino, you're losing the money anyway. And the Bitcoin, yeah, you're losing the money, but you have the hope that you might not lose any. You have the hope all the time. And it's like,
if you go to the casino and you love the casino, there is literally no reason why you shouldn't be getting involved in Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Really. I'm trying to buy my Bitcoins and hold them. That's what I'm into.
That's fine. That's what I'm into.
I'm going to save them because when you can buy everything with Bitcoin, I'll just have a fat wallet full of Bitcoins to spend on everything I want, like a house.
Exactly.
A mansion with Bitcoins.
In Costa Rica, I won't even need tall money for that. Okay, it's inexpensive there.
Or in South Africa.
South Africa is huge on Bitcoin. Huge on cryptocurrency there. I mean, people use their cards. They have, a crypto card.
Yeah.
Like a Visa card.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. See that?
All right. So you need, So this is what, women, especially, they need financial direction.
Yes.
They really, really need.
Of course.
Yeah.
And you know what, Angeline and Kia? There's also a lot of women that are going into divorce or separation, and they don't have their husband, that they don't support them, and sometimes they have money, they don't know what to do, or they don't have no money, and also they don't know what to do, and they have some money to invest. This is the time, to be guide for a woman like you, Angeline, that you also went for a very rough moment in your marriage, and you got divorced, and you transform your life, and you start getting in Bitcoins, and see the way you are going now. So a lot of women can follow your path of the way you did.
Exactly.
Or you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And for those of you who haven't seen Angeline's first episode with us, okay, you can go to our Facebook page and scroll back through the episodes and you will find her episode. But to give you a quick sort of spoiler alert, Angeline was in a very long marriage that was abusive, violent, toxic, abusive relationship that she gained finally the strength to leave and created an entirely new life for herself. And she has been manifesting a better experience every single day since she had the courage to leave and start over. It wasn't easy. Every day wasn't cake, right? But she worked hard and she worked towards her dreams, and they're coming true. So as you've heard me say a million times, that in order to manifesting one-on-one is you have to believe you can have it. You have to see it, you have to feel it, and you have to put action towards it. And you can have the life of your dreams. Okay. Exactly. And Angeline is proof of that. You want to talk about that a little bit, Angeline? Because we're almost at 55 minutes already.
Yeah. So this was great tonight. like I said, it's all about mindset. But when I was going through that bad period in my life, I focused on personal development. What I did was I started to surround myself with people and mentors who were on a higher level than me.
Exactly.
That's important.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that's when I first got involved in the network marketing space. Just meeting people, just like, wow, there's a whole new world out there for me.
You was hide under the rock.
Right, right.
I love that
But
you said get mentors too, because I usually tell my female veterans when I do workshops,
right.
that get yourself 2 mentors and a coach. And a lot of times mentors don't like to feel like they're a mentor. Like it's kind of embarrassing sometimes for them, like overwhelming in a
Right,
way.
right.
But find yourself 2 people who are on the level you want to get to, and find out how you can connect with them and talk to them, and then also get a coach. So your mentor is going to give you those big ideas, right? They're going to give you the vision. They're going to help you refine your vision, but they might not actually give you a play-by-play on how to execute it. That's where your coach comes in. Your coach, that's what I am. That's what I do. Okay. And that's what Angeline does as well.
Right.
So
right.
what we're going to do is we're going to be boots on the ground with you. We're going to talk you through it. We're going to be there to scrape you up off the sidewalk when you fall down. You know what I mean? We're going to be there to help you navigate how not to fall down, right? We're going to be there with you and give you all the support that you need to get to that next level that your mentors have given you the vision for, and sort of like an overall strategy. We help you execute. Okay.
And you know what? Put in a little bit of more of what you said, Kia and Angeline. We are women here, and we love to empower other women because these 3 women here are being through a lot, and we know how to feel down and to get up in life. We know that, like we are like professionals on that. So we just want you, women and men, we want you to raise and to be like fulfilling your dreams and your passion and everything.
Live your best
every
life.
time we bring people here, we always is with the intent to help you to feel better, to prosper, to be growing up. And that's the only thing we want. We want growing, and we want like one day to hear, oh my God, thank God for the night on March 18, 2021, that I heard these 3 women. I followed this woman, Angeline, and she opened me the door to be able to be successful. We want that. That kind of stories. That's the cool stories.
It's beautiful.
That's the cool stories.
That's all we want. Okay.
That's what we want.
Send us a note and tell us that you were impacted and it changed your life. That will make my life. I'll be so happy. Because that's why we do.
That's why we do what we do. You know, like for myself, helping women break through those self-limiting beliefs, because it all starts from childhood.
Yes, those inner child wounds are these survival mechanisms that we develop to protect ourselves or to navigate life as a child. Sometimes we don't realize when we can let them go, and we have to sort of relearn how to be and how to thrive as an adult without using those same survival skills that we needed, because we don't need them anymore. Exactly. Or maybe it wasn't childhood. Maybe those inner wounds got you into that relationship that was toxic, and now you finally left that toxic relationship, male or female, masculine or feminine, and then take it as it resonates with you. But it's those things that you don't need anymore to help you feel better, to help you grow, to push past your comfort zone, to drop those barriers to your own success. Because a lot of trauma does that. It leaves you with barriers to your own success. And so that's what we're here for, to help you to grow through that, to heal that, and to move forward in your life so that you can have a happier life. Everybody deserves to have a happy life. Well, life is meant to be enjoyed. It's not meant to be miserable. It's not, and you can find joy even in the worst of environments. I mean, I grew up very rough, but I had a lot of happy days, even amidst all the turmoil. So you can find joy if you look for it, if you want it.
That's right. That's right.
Right now we are in the jungle.
You're in the jungle.
I
I
can
was
hear
here in
it.
the jungle. Were you in the jungle, Angeline? Because I was like, is that crickets?
Yeah, I know. I thought there was something in my apartment. This is too funny.
Gloria is
This
always
fun.
doing something.
We're in the jungle.
So someone's going to the jungle soon. I guess someone's preparing for their time in the Costa Rican
Gloria.
I'm
rainforest.
ready.
See that? See that?
Oh my God, it's so crazy. So we sort of got on a little soapbox there, but now that we're done, and we hope whoever needed to hear that heard it, okay, because somebody must have needed to hear it. So to wrap up this whole bit about Bitcoin, okay, so is there anything else we need to know as a novice, as a beginner, that we should know before we reach out to you, or if we want to attempt it on our own?
Okay, so if you're a novice, so first thing I would say is subscribe to like magazines, online magazines like the Daily Hold. It's HODL. Okay, and they can reach out to me on private message, and they can also reach out to me on Instagram too. So, so if they want to learn about investments, they want to learn what types of income they can earn, and like what coins to buy, they can reach out to me, and what I will do is I will add them to the mentorship group.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
That's excellent.
Wow.
Now, what will be the next episode? What we're gonna talk about next time? Because I want people to know, to have their idea. Okay, they contact you, but there's a lot of people they're gonna see the replay, and we're gonna have another series. What is gonna be the next episode we're gonna talk about?
So was my next guest to talk about crypto? Okay, so you guys may remember her from before. She is the thriving queen of Thrive Tribe, and all the tribes that she does.
Wow.
Her name is Jay Onifree, and she is another one of my amazing students. And she is going to come and talk to us about everything she does with crypto. She also helps people, and I think she does a lot of trading. And so we're going to dive a bit deeper into trading and mining. I think so. So I think that's what will happen. And I believe she's coming in April, the third week of April, maybe.
I would love to
sometime
hear
in the
that.
beginning of April. Yeah, I'll let you know for sure.
And also, we want Angeline to come back again too. And what will be the next episode where we're gonna talk about, like in the continuation of this one, Angeline?
Yes, I know. Let's see. We can talk about my podcast.
No, about Bitcoin, because
Bitcoin?
we want people to know more
Okay.
and more and more about this.
Well, we could talk. We'll talk about like intermediate, maybe people who want to do more trading, more advanced trading, more.
That's a great
education.
idea.
Let's do that.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yes, because that's the future. So we need to go now in the present to talk about the future.
Exactly. And I'll share some. Go ahead.
I'm gonna bring you to the bilingual show, the Gloria, because all my people also need the Bitcoin information too.
Right, everyone needs it.
Yes.
Guys, it's the wave of the future. I mean,
yes,
the value of the dollar is decreasing.
Exactly.
So it's important to bone up and learn about it, and forget about what the government's. I mean, we.
Speaking of forgetting about what the government is saying, Angeline, before we wrap up, I was hoping that you could explain to people why it's important that this is decentralized currency.
It's important because the government does not control your money. So you are your own bank.
Mm-hmm.
So think of it that way. You are your own bank. You decide when you're going to buy, when you're going to sell. You want to send money, Bitcoin to, like I'll send money to you, Kia, like $50. And you know what? That's, I've sent money to people, and the transaction is so easy, and it's recorded on the blockchain. But you have control. So you don't have to go through the bank and make a transfer, because Yeah, because the bank charges fees for that. The
Excellent.
Yeah, so it's instant. And like, let's say I sent money tonight, you would probably get it in an hour. Probably tonight in about an hour. You have to allow at least 15 minutes to an hour because it all depends on how busy the blockchain is. But it's so easy to send money. It's so easy.
Which also makes it easy for people to steal your money. So be careful.
Yes,
Be careful.
exactly.
Keep your wallet secure.
Mhm.
It's important to have secure wallets. So I have Exodus. So that's a very good wallet. Very good wallet.
Exodus. I'm gonna investigate about that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Excellent.
Well, it's already 1 hour, so we need to wrap it up. So, Angeline, thank you so much to be today in Hot Topics. This is not the only night you're gonna be here because we want to keep talking about crypto and Bitcoin and all that stuff because we want to make people richer. So, that's the mission, right?
That's part of our mission.
That's part of our mission.
We're going to enrich lives in every way we can.
Exactly.
Right. You want to earn passive income and you want to build a legacy for yourself and your family.
Absolutely.
And what a great way to, to grow your Bitcoin, because if you just let your money sit in the savings account, it's not earning any, or money market, it's not earning anything.
Mm-hmm.
So why have the bank control your money? You have control.
Exactly.
Freedom.
All right.
I like that.
Thank you so much for being Hot Topics tonight. Kia, you want to ask any other questions before we say goodbye to Angeline?
I'm going to save them for next time. But before we go, Angeline, tell us all one more time about the name of your podcast, what it's about, and where we can find it.
Sure. The name of my podcast is called Let's Break the Silence. And you can find me on, as far as my podcast is concerned, it's on Apple Podcasts now. You can find me on Anchor FM, on Spotify, and on Google Podcasts. So my podcast is now live on Google, and I think it's Pocket Cast too. So I also have a Facebook fan page called Let's Break the Silence. So people can find, people can connect with me there. So my podcast is about breaking the silence. So my podcast is about helping you find your voice and helping you, transition from pain to pleasure, to the promised land, and helping you regain your power and helping you attract wealth and abundance in their lives, because abundance is all around us. Good night, Susan. I'll touch base with you tomorrow. Okay. Good night. So, we want to help you regain your power because abundance is all around you. I want to help you break free from that scarcity mindset, because I know what that's like. It's not a fun place to be in. It's not fun to be in a dark place in your life. But if I can transition into the person I was, look at me now. I mean, this is 11 years later. I'm still single, and I love being single. And I provide for myself, but I love helping people. I love helping people. So, like we work on mindset. Mindset is a huge part of this, and breaking free from your self-limiting beliefs, because that's what's holding you back. We're going to tear down those walls. Like my logo is POW. We're going to break the walls down.
Yeah.
We're going to break them down.
You're going to put a grenade on there. Boom.
I love you, Lily. I love you, lady. I love being on your show.
We love you back. Well, Angeline, we're going to have you back again soon. So keep doing amazing things, and let us know if you get a lot of people that come your way to get some help and learning how to manage this whole new Bitcoin era that or crypto era, I should say, that we're going into. And hopefully a lot of people will hear this message and start making that transition in however they can, because it's coming. You can't stop it. You can't change it. It's happening. It's happening now.
It's happening now.
Go check PayPal, and you will see the Bitcoin icon in there.
I saw that. I saw that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So that is
everywhere.
Everywhere. It's everywhere, guys. You
Mm-hmm.
see Bitcoin ATM machines too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, my
Actually, you know what
dear.
I saw before we go? I just want to tell you, you were
Go
talking
ahead.
about NFTs, and I'm
Yeah.
actually just starting to learn about NFTs myself because, I'm working on a documentary and I'm going to be looking for financing for this film, right?
Ah.
And I discovered that NFTs is a way. It's a way of the
Oh yeah,
future,
it
but
is.
it is a way. And so as I was researching this, right, I saw that I think it was in the New York Times, did an article that Christie's did their first NFT auction.
Yes, that's right. They
So,
did.
I mean, digital art, like
Yeah.
it just, I can't, it's everywhere. It's a takeover. You heard it here on Hot Topics Live. If you haven't heard it already, you heard it here from us.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly.
That's
All
right.
right, Angeline, thank you so much.
Love you.
Love
I love you.
you. Thanks
Love
for
you.
coming, girl. You're so
Thank
appreciated.
you. Thank you. Love you, ladies.
Well, we always like to be pioneer in everything. We are pioneer in this, and we're gonna be pioneers in the crypto. Talking about crypto all the time because
So,
we want to make everybody rich.
yeah, that would be a great world, wouldn't it? Because, being impoverished, being broke, breeds desperation. And when you're desperate, you're capable of doing things that you probably wouldn't have done if you weren't put in that position. And if you can find your way out of poverty, then your whole life can change. I know I didn't start off like, I worked very hard to get to where I am and to where I'm going. So I know how it is to be hungry. I know how it is to
Yes,
not have, clothes or toys or things like that. I know the struggle. So if it starts with a mindset and knowing you can get out, knowing you can make a change, knowing you don't have to stay where you are, right?
exactly.
It begins with knowing you can make those changes and going for it.
So, my dear, we need to wrap it up.
That's right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We really appreciate your time and that you spent it with us this evening. We hope that you got something out of this episode and that you'll look into cryptocurrency and maybe it can change your life. And if it does, send us a line, like drop us a line, send us a DM, let us know how it impacted you. And with any of our shows, we love hearing that stuff. We appreciate everybody that's been sending us like pictures of flowers and cute emojis and sending us love and our DMs for Hot Topics Live. We appreciate that. And if you have a topic that you want to hear about, you can always write to us and we will look for an expert or someone who's very knowledgeable in that topic to come and talk on Hot Topics Live and have a conversation with us. And so that
Yes.
being said, if you're watching on YouTube, hit subscribe, like and share, set your notification bell so that you know when we come live. And if you're watching on Facebook, then follow us and share, of course, set your notifications in case we pop on here. Then you'll know we're live and we appreciate you. I'm Kia Baker. I am the host and creator of the Female Veterans Podcast. You can find that anywhere you listen to podcasts. Women Warrior Stories for the Veterans Channel, and Success Coach at London Real Academy. And I am joined, as always, by the loveliest jungle queen that you could possibly ever imagine.
That is me, Gloria Goldberg. I'm the founder and the creator of the podcast Unbreakable Life with Glory, where I talk about depression, anxiety, and PTSD in a holistic way and natural way to always make you feel better. And also the founder and the creator of the bilingual show, The Gloria, where I talk about depression, anxiety, and PTSD in a holistic way and natural way to always make you feel better. And tomorrow I have a special guest. He's Andy Samayo. He help girls and kids from Haiti, and he support them. He give clothes, food, study, school. He already built like a school. So he's coming tomorrow to talk about that beautiful journey that he's in. And also, Kia, I have a getaway for the dress.
You're doing a giveaway.
I have a giveaway. So if you know my Instagram, Gloria Gold 1111, there's a picture there. If you see the picture, go click the picture, and there's all the instructions. It's for people in Spanish or bilingual, because because I'm Latina, I'm Hispanic, and I just want to give back to the Latino world. And that is the magic dress right there, and it's a giveaway.
Wow, that's
So,
exciting.
and before we go, we see that there's some people that they're nasty and they post nasty comments, creepy comments, and whatever. Those comments are gonna be erased, and then we see again that we're gonna block you. Very simple like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's trolling is so unnecessary, but I know that people love to do it. And actually, I'm actually a little bit flattered because you know what Brian says? Brian Rose always says that if you don't have haters, you're not doing something right. So that means we're doing something right.
I understand that, but the comments are like more sexually, like sexual, and you know what? No.
Oh yeah. I mean, come on.
No,
Don't be gross.
no.
Have some
Yes.
self-respect. We don't give a shit about
Exactly.
that kind of stuff. It's not gonna make us excited. It's not gonna affect us in any way except annoyance. So I'm just like,
The only thing we're gonna do is gonna erase the comment, and that's it.
yeah.
Period.
And then
Anyway,
block you.
guys, thank you so much to be in see all this confusion.
Too many shows. You guys
Too many shows. Okay, guys, have a wonderful night, and welcome to Hot Topics, the show where we create, transform, and inspire, right?
That's right. Good night.
Bye.